Welcome, one and all, to another live stream of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew, and I've been joined by Jeff, and Conrad is here. He's just not on camera. So,
Sorry, guys.
Evening, morning, whatever time of day it is. Hopefully, you're having a great day out there, and we look forward to a lot of fun here tonight because we've got a bit to get through as always. We are going to go through the latest. We're going to review the latest from Aussie band out of Queensland, Dreamkillers. We're going to go back to a very important album from Porcupine Tree that Connor put forward. Got some new songs from Narayan and Crossbone Skuly to discuss, as well as another round of Mixtape Madness and all the usual nonsense we get up to as well. So get in here, say hi, give us your thoughts as we go along, and make sure you hit the description box for any reference tracks you're looking for out of this episode tonight. Jody says hello to everyone. As always, we all know the drill by now. I'm going to get that T-shirt one day. And yeah, we are just going to sort of see how we go. Like, Michael's here, good to see you. Cat's here too, going 3 music-a-tears.
Oh, right.
Nice. There we go. It's clever. Nicely done. Well done. But yeah, we got a bit to get through, so we'll do a quick how are we going sort of thing. So Jeff, how you going today? All right?
Yeah, just I mean, I've had a bitch of a week, but yeah, the idea is that it actually got better. So yesterday, up until yesterday, so basically from Monday to Thursday, well, Wednesday, I should say. Yesterday was Wednesday. it was just like, oh my god, and then something happened, and it just turned nice. On a dime. Yeah, which is really nice, and it turned for the better. So I'm really happy about that. Nice. I won't get into the details. Just suffice to say, it was shit, and now it's not shit. So that's all that matters. Yeah,
I'm glad to hear it. Katie's here. Good to see you. Bob, hi guys. Good to see you. Good to see you again as always. Thanks for jumping in, saying hi. Everyone do the same. How are you today? It's been a little while between drinks, but yeah, we're back into the swing of things now. How you been?
Yeah, good. Yeah, not bad at all. Busy. Been flat out, working quite a lot. I'm trying to think. Last gig I think I saw Powerwolf. Did I mention Powerwolf? I think I went and saw them.
That was on your agenda to do. Yeah,
Winter Rose, and I got to see because we reviewed it, and then I ended up seeing them the same week actually, and that was Alter Bridge.
Oh, nice.
Oh, right.
Saw them the same week, and really good. Yeah. That's thoroughly. They were very good. So
I was thoroughly impressed with that last album. That was
no, it was good. They were great. They delivered in spades. Yeah, really good. So
nice.
I've been still seeing quite a lot of shows.
we wouldn't have it any other way, mate.
No.
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't either.
London would be wasted on you if you come to London. I think it'd be wasted, and you're into rock and metal, and you like rock music. Then you come here, especially from living in another country. Yeah, you're gonna want to take advantage of that and see as much as you possibly can, of which I very much try to do.
Yes, and fuck yeah, that part of me is jealous. I tell you now, be fantastic to see some of the bands you're talking about. Nice, good to hear. Brad's here saying, hey guys, good to see you, Brad. Thanks for jumping in. Same with Jolie, good to see you as well. Got a few regulars, got some less regular folks. Good to see you.
Hey, Brad is a brother of mine. And hello, Brad.
There you go. I think I'm in the same boat as everyone else, just flat out hectic. It's been pandemonium. I finally got to be at home for a week or so now, but it's just like work hasn't let up. So it's just flat stick. Here we go. But that's that part. This is the fun part of the week. So let's get stuck in and have some fun. Let's talk about some music because that's what we're here to do. Starting off, as always, with Hot Rocks and Tastemakers. What do we got here? Anna Isabel, I think it is. Or Mel. I don't know which handle you want us to use there for you. But anyway, hi, everyone. Good to see you as well. Thanks for jumping in. Alrighty. So new songs in Tastemakers this week are Blue Medusa, Checkmate, Gunship, Tell Me When the World Stops Ending, Crod, Enigma, Mim, oh God, Ministry of Dark, Black Light Benediction, The Warning, Kerosene, Wicked Envy with Hyde, HZ Rising Up Above, Ironstone, Handsome Fee, Smokestack Rhinos, Sugar Sweet Jackie, and Veiled Arch Hard Time. That's on our current Tastemakers playlist, which will get rotated after the weekend is through. Which brings us, of course, to how we do things. Patreon members get to vote on this and nominate songs, and these are the songs that are making the top 10 this week. Some quick honorable mentions that didn't quite make the cut. We have Susie Quattro with Freedom, Anna with Hate Me, and Rise from Ashes with Disease before we get to the top 10, which means number 10 is the number 2 song last week, and its second week it's that Slick Helvetica track that Jeff and I discussed, the song Shoot. Jeff didn't like it. Number 9 is Tail Gunner with War in Heaven. Number 8, Sons of Eternity, When Fantasies Die, or When Fantasy Dies, sorry. 7 is Arcane Roots, A Wave Across the Sea. Number 6, Psychroptic with Falling. Number 5, Hands Like Houses with Flowers. Second week. Number 3 last week. That was a great song. It slid down, but it's still doing well. Number 4, Crash Diet, and their new single, Satisfaction. That made it number 4 this week, which brings us to the top 3. Number 3 is Crossbone Skully with We're Lost, and number 2 is Narayan with Cycles. Those are the 2 songs I'm going to talk about in just a second, which means that number 1 this week for the 3rd week in a row is Dreams from Black Rain, as before by Jolly. It's in its 6th week overall now. It spent half that time at number 1 spot. So that song is seriously doing well, and well done to all involved in crafting it. All righty. Let's do the songs. You all know what to do. Find the tracks in the reference links in the description box. Let's get stuck into. Let's do number 3 first. Let's do Crossbone Skully, We're Lost. This is the latest single from the American band led by Tommy Henriksen of Hollywood Vampires and the Alice Cooper Band. This new track signals an end to the cycle of their 2024 debut album, Evil World Machine. Tommy describes this track as something surviving a ruthless city, becoming tougher and finding out your fire to stand unbroken in the face of evil doers. Very short, but important little impact statement there. Michael C. put this one forward. It made it number 3 this week. It's the most, the highest ranked international song, so we're going to give it the treatment. This is a band that's been quite popular with our Patreon audience for a while now, so time to see if the new single sort of keeps that momentum going. And let's start with Conrad. How'd you go with this one?
Here we go. This is interesting. To learn, I've only just learned now from what you just said that they're from the States. Which is interesting. But I will then say to that, this is America's answer to Airborne. It sounds very airborne to me. Incredibly airborne, in fact. So that's kind of exactly what Airborne Mark II. So if you like Airborne, you're gonna love this. That's simple. That's my that's very short and sweet. I'm sorry I can't give you more than that, but that's where I'm at on that.
No, they're only little stub things here. They're only a bit of fun to cover off. How about you, Jeff? How'd you go with it?
Well, first off, hello, Amanda. Hello, Lucas. Hello, Lucas. Anyway.
Sorry for snubbing those. Sorry for snubbing the audience and not saying hello.
I know. These people. Anyway, well, I think Lucas is like 5. So hello, Lucas. We gotta be careful.
There you go.
No, look, this band. Conrad was spot on because I was actually thinking AC/DC, but then I got thinking,
you hear that,
or watered down. They're not quite AC/DC, and so when he said Airborne, it just clicked in my head. That's exactly what I was trying to think, but I couldn't place it. Look, I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay because I like Airborne, and so what's not to like? Then I was trying to work out why it's LOST, like L.O. What's the deal with that? Lost. I didn't get that. I don't know what that actually means. It must mean something. So I'm not sure, but
I don't know.
It's not in the lyrics, so not that I could find. So anyway, but the song itself, it was fine. Would I run out and buy them a new album if they came out with another album or whatever? No, probably not. No. It's not that it's bad, but I'd rather listen to Airborne. So, and who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Seriously, exactly. So, So look, if I had to give this a number of shots, 5.
That's depending. In saying that, that's depending on the rest of the album. If the rest of the album's songs sound all exactly the same, like this formula, maybe their other stuff might sound different to this. I don't know.
Yeah, awesome. I did skim the album when it came out, but I haven't had a chance to dive into it, unfortunately. Right. But yeah, so I do know they do different stuff to just this, so it's not all like this. This is a bit more sedate.
It is generic in a way. It's very generic and derivative. You know, I guess is probably a better word. Not so much generic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, it's not bad. It's not terrible. It's not Electric Wizard or anything like that.
Yeah. So. Here we go again. We're like trauma dumping on that album every time.
I know. You know, that was like 2 years ago.
Horrendous. Oh, sorry, there's a kid watching.
Oh, yeah. If this is not a children's show, so I don't really get too caught up on that.
This is not a children's show.
I saw that album pop up in like the best. It pops up a lot.
I know, it's weird. It's got a lot
in these lists. It pops up in these lists of best songs.
I know,
and it's like, what?
Yeah, I know.
What these people rate that record?
They're not our lists, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah. I don't get it. It's not for me. But hey,
not for me. This song, though, I enjoyed it. Let's get us back on point here. It's nothing complicated. Obviously, it's been done before. It's the tried and true formula, but this leads into the blues-based hard rock. You know. Nothing wrong with a tried and true formula when it's done well. I mean, it's solid. It's got good groove, fantastic hook. You know, the guitar work and the rhythm in both rhythm and lead sides is fantastic, which you want for this style of music. I did enjoy the way this one builds and falls away. They did use dynamics in the songwriting nicely, and that brought a little bit of something extra to it as far as I was concerned. Yes, I understand everything you were saying, but there was some nice sort of, they'd put something in, then pull something out, and it was interesting in that regard. It's got a great solo, which is, you know, obligatory for the style. It's just a mid-tempo rocker at the end of the day, which, you know, ticks all the boxes. But it's still, I did like the mix because it felt fresh. It didn't feel like it was, you know, outdated or, you know, it sounded like it was current, which is cool. It's not reinventing anything. Clearly, it's done well. It sounds great. Lyrics are good. The performance is the writing. It's all solid. That said, it is just one of those ones. It's a ticking the box kind of a song, but I can also see why the band is so well regarded, because this is exceptionally easy to enjoy and take in. There's nothing in this that's going to challenge you per se. It's a you're putting on a comfortable jacket or a comfortable jeans kind of listen. But it goes down well. It's like a nice, neat, smooth whiskey when it goes down. It's got a bit of heat, but it just hits that right spot when it lands. So for me, I enjoyed this one. I think most of our audience will enjoy this one. I give it 8 shots. It's not like I said, it's not, you know, tearing anything down, but it's solid, well done and well performed and all those things. So yeah, I didn't mind it at all. Going back to the number one song though this week with Black Rain, Jolie's gone, woohoo, thank you all, sending lots of love. So because Jolie nominated that song and just keeps hanging on at number one for 3 weeks now, she's you've done well, Jolie. If there was like a Taste Masters crown, you'd be having it at this point in time, I reckon. Alrighty. Other song in tonight's proceedings is from Narayan. This song is called Cycles. It's the lead single from the upcoming 3-track EP Transcendence, which is due out on March 27, 2026. Narayan is a Melbourne-based guitarist originally born in Fiji, just a bit of background here, who has quite a body of work when you start digging into his, you know, session work and that kind of stuff. This is self-produced along with the help of Michael Tronson. This song in particular also features Toby Peterson Stewart from The Omnific and David Parks of I Built the Sky. I get to claim this one. I nominated it, so go me. But it climbed up to number 2 this week, which I was quite happy about, considering that this is an artist that I've been waiting for new music from for quite a while. So let's see if it was worth the wait to other people than just me. Jeff, how'd you go?
2 words. No, we'll say 3 words. Yeah, kick fucking ass. This is great.
I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4.
Yeah, this was great. This was really good. I enjoyed this a lot. Yeah, exactly. Am I saying 3 words? This was really good. This was really good. I especially like the vocals. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, this was really good. I didn't know what to expect, and I'd never heard them before, so. I put it on and I was like immediate, probably within 10 seconds, I knew I liked it. And that's a good sign. That's usually a sign of a song that you're going to like, you're going to enjoy. It was just really, really good. It's just one guy.
Oh, it's a solo project, but this one has other musicians playing and helping out too.
Yeah. Still. Obviously he's composed it, you know.
Yeah, he's done the writing. Him and the producer, the Michael Tronson, they both co-wrote and co-produced this stuff. Yeah.
Well, I would definitely. This is Yeah, this is exceptionally well done. I was, as soon as I heard it, I knew I was going to like it, and I went and listened to it again, and I was like, okay, I like this a lot. There's just something about it. It's got energy, it's got heaviness, it doesn't sound dated at all. It sounds very modern, and yet it's not following any modern trends, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's setting its own path, which is really nice. And so I was impressed with it. So I'm going to give this 9 shots because I really like this a lot. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Conrad, how about you?
I thought this was amazeballs. This
cool.
was unreal. Straight out the gate, I was like, wow, what is this? You know?
Exactly.
And it really took me back. I was like, thank God. I was like, this is something modern that really, not a lot of modern music really impresses me in the rock metal world, because I have a tendency to, unfortunately, it's hard to come up with something sounding original and new and fresh and exciting, but this definitely is. The guitar playing on this, if you're into Satch and Vi, definitely got Satch and Vi vibes guitar-wise, but behind that, you get some very complicated stuff going on. There's some really interesting, complicated stuff happening behind it. So yeah, fans of like prog metal are going to love this, I think.
Modern prog metal.
Anybody at Dream Theater or Queensryche or Porcupine Tree, we'll get to later. But
we'll get to that. Yep.
Yeah. But anybody of that likes the like modern, or even like Carnival could be considered modern prog. So there is definitely a lot here going on. So these guys could go out on tour with any of those bands I just mentioned as a support and opening up for any of those bands, and probably do rather well. I don't doubt after a while, and be taken up by somebody big. Somebody big could snap these guys up and have them open for them easily. An arena filling act, like a big modern arena prog metal band, could just go right then. It would take these guys out for sure. So I do hope that happens for them, because they bloody well deserve it.
Yeah, they're really good.
Really good talent. A lot of talent here.
Yep.
Yeah. 9 shots. Same with Jeff on that. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. Well, I picked it, so it's not really a surprise to say that I fucking loved it. But long story short, I mean, I echo everything you guys have said, but if you like instrumental prog, then this is for you. For me, this is impressive, though. Like, we all know that I can be hit and miss with, the technical prog stuff, but I love how Narayan go about it. Like, I love the ability to be technical, but also bring this beautiful sense and use of feel into the songs that are crafted by him and the people he works with. This has this sort of hook element that, is an anchor throughout the whole song, the way there's just this repeating element to it, which gives you that home base to settle into. And then around that, this song just flourishes.
These guys from Melbourne, you said?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Melbourne.
Wow. Yep. They sounded to me international. I thought these guys were an international band, but no, they really smashed it out the ballpark.
Yeah, there you go. This is one of those ones where, like you guys said, the composition and the performances were just wonderful across this. I couldn't fault it. I think there was great emotive changes in the writing. It's a journey in a song, but it never closes the door. Like, I know that we've mentioned that, the word prog here, and if you're like me and you can sometimes struggle with that, there's nothing here that cuts you off if you're not a prog head. Like, this is something that anyone can really enjoy this one, because it's just so well composed. It's smooth as fuck. It just flows. It's got a great mix. The polish, the tones are just right to this one. It's got fantastic layering all over it. And there's this big change which leads into the slower section. And it's like, you get this, the old Lukather and those sorts of vibes in there as well. And there's this pause, and then you get this fucking big, bend and that kind of stuff. It's just really cool. Like I said,
I would go as far as to say, sorry to interrupt here.
No, that's all right.
As far as to say, like, even if for those that might be put off by instrumental music and it doesn't have vocals, for those watching, go, oh, it doesn't have lyrics to it. I say it doesn't matter. This is done well enough to not that be an issue at all. It grabs you enough and engages you enough for that to not be an issue.
That's why I mentioned in the composition that anchor point. There's this refrain that they use, which gives you that point of reference the whole way through. It's not just a wank fest. It's really composed. It's a genuine song with
Absolutely.
It's not just self-indulgent wank. No, by no means. No.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they can't fucking flash though, and there's plenty of that. There is a lot of skill and ability being shown off here and done well. There's a later change in the song as well, which leans more to the groove and the attack as you start to wrap up this piece of music as well. It's just got great light and shade all over it. I just couldn't admire the composition more if I tried. I think that this is fantastic. I love the way that it starts off softer and just builds over its duration of 5-something minutes. It really does build nicely as you go through it. But the close was almost frantic and just, capped it off nicely. Look, I could go on and on and on because I've loved this project for a number of years now. I think it was 2022 was the last EP. Not a lot of music from Narayan out there, but what there is, it's, that whole quality over quantity argument. This is a case in point for that. A big thank you to the artist for making sure we knew about this because I was hanging for this for ages. But for me, I loved it. 10 shots for me. I think this is fantastic. And I will be continuing to listen to Narayan for many, many years to come because I never forgot the last ones we listened to either. So there we go.
I'd be interested to see what happens with these guys. Where who snaps them up? If they get snapped up by someone, it'd be great. Like someone to take them out, someone big to take them out and to have them opening up for them would be a great.
I hope they got some connections. Yeah, I would love to at least see the guys playing live. It seems more like a studio project at the moment. Who knows? Adrian, the main guy here, he's on the promo cycle, so hopefully it'll kick some goals for him. And we'll obviously keep up to date as best as we can. Kat was giving some flowers to Jolie for picking the number one song again. Vinny's here. G'day, legends. How good is the quality in Conrad's feed? 8K OLED Conrad. I don't know what's going on there, Vinny. I have no idea.
Is it bad? Is it bad quality?
No, it's fine for me. I'm not sure anyone else is saying.
I'm not sure what he's meaning there. Elaborate, please. We have an elaboration, please, on that.
Oh, here we go. But Vinny's gone, I guess if you're wanking to prog, then you're aiming for sprog, right? Well, yeah, I guess so. Vinny with the class as always. Helly's here. Good to see you as well. Hello, all. Been a while. Good to see you. Welcome back. And BP, good to see you as well. Gone prog is best, and a lot of people love it, and I think a few of us here will agree. And we've got more of that coming up just a little bit later on. But before we get to that, we have to get to this week's backyard banger. Okay, here we go. It's a crown Andrew for Jolie. I had to get a crown for Jolie with the right, there we go. Now I understand because there's the
crown.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was skimming through comments, not paying attention to emoticons. So there we go. Thank you for that, Kat. Thank you for clarifying. Yes, a crown for Jolie because she deserves it for picking the number one song for 3 weeks straight. Well done. Normally Conrad comes through a little choppy. Okay, that's why. So you're actually coming in well today, and this time around it looks like it's actually going smoothly, which is thumbs up. Nice. There we go.
Appreciate the feedback.
Yeah. And feedback is good, so we're good. That's, I guess, the new apartment's working out well for you there, Conrad, which is nice in that respect, at least. So there's other things, but at least that much works. And you're not overheating your phone either, which is good. Oh God, here we go. You're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this one. He's gone sprog quality. So Vinny's obviously getting very excited. Conrad, you can just put that in your.
I don't want to think about this.
All right, let's move along. Let's change vibes because speaking of gritty and dirty kind of stuff, this is the backyard banger for the week, and this is a band called Dreamkillers. The EP that we're covering, it's an EP technically, is Profus Cunninghami. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that one, but you can all look it up.
Profus Cunninghami.
Something like okay, there you go.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
That's what it looks like when you spell it out. But anyway,
all I got to say is if you do, you can clean it up. That's what I would say.
That's true. But also it does reference some sort of flower native to Queensland, I believe. That's why it's got the artwork that it has. So it is something to do with that, I think. Anyway, this one here is 8 tracks at 28 minutes. It's the 6th studio album from the Brisbane band formed in 1991. It's released in January 2026 via X Music, self-produced by the band. At least 3 promo tracks were released, including Close Down the Circus and Shirley, the latter being a tribute to the late, great Shirley Strawn. About this album, the band have to say that this came upon us without warning. It was born out of urban myths and half-truths, the kind of stories that become the very ground you stand on even when they're not entirely real. There were voices claiming things that never truly happened, and we realized there was no time left for dancing around it. This EP lives in the peripheral vision of mankind, that space where legend and reality blur. We put everything on the table, no holds barred, nothing left in the tank. It's guts and soul shaking hands in what feels like a departure zone. There's a thread inspired by the night Rock and Roll George drove his FJ over Cunningham's Gap, a moment that turned into myth where by morning only one remaining life had seen it all. Professor Cunningham, the Brisbane Lily, felt like the perfect name, something that blooms quietly in the shadows but refuses to be ignored. Now, that is the summing up of things there. This is this week's Backyard Banger. It's an interesting little one. We have changed pace dramatically here. Connor's going to go first later on. So, Jeff, over to you.
All right. Well, look, Dreamkillers, Professor Cunningham, whatever you want to call it. I don't know either. I don't know how you say it. But look, I felt that this was just amazing. I'd never heard of these guys, and I was just like, okay, I'm listening. And look, after I was listening to it, I realized I don't know how to describe their music. I normally I hate it when you have to put something in a box because that's just the way we're brought up and we're taught. And really, we shouldn't have to do that, but we do.
Yeah. I think metalheads are the worst for it.
We are exactly right.
Yeah, so we invent categories to allow us to box things in more.
Yeah, I could not put these guys in a box. So but that was actually good. That was refreshing. So it defies categorization, and that's all that matters. Is it metal? Is it thrash? Is it punk? I was stumped. But I enjoyed it. I did actually come up with one thing, and this, I don't know, this might bounce over. This might be so obscure that you don't get it, Conrad. You don't get it, Andrew. But this actually kind of reminded me a little bit of the crazy world of Arthur Brown.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
If they had a baby with Ministry. And this was the progeny.
Makes sense. But wow, you went deep dive on that.
I know. And then that child was baptized by Jello Biafra, the former lead singer of the Dead Kennedys. He was the one who baptized that baby. This is Dreamkillers.
Wow.
I know. I came up with
that's good.
One. But look, it's I really did not know how to put them in a box, and I'm sorry that I apologize up front that we feel like we have to. We shouldn't. But these guys, seriously amazing, seriously good musicians. I have not heard of them before, and maybe I'm because I've been living under a rock. I don't know. But I enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed this. I mean, in fact, it blew me away how good it was. So I'm actually going to give it a 10.
Wow.
Nice. I have not heard anything this original and this good in a long time. So at the time when I wrote this, I mean, something else has come along now that's even more original. Yeah. But maybe a little French band, duo. But this is pretty amazing. So I really enjoyed this. 10 shots for me. Yep.
Cool. All right. I was curious how this one's going to go because it can be a bit rough around the edges, but we'll get to Conrad. How'd you go with it?
I again, like Jeff iterated, they've got their own sort of thing going on, and you can't really categorize them, which is a good thing. I have seen these guys live a couple of times. Cool. I saw them many years ago, like over 20 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Back in Australia, in Newtown, in Sydney, I do remember seeing them. I can't remember what they sounded like back then because it was so long ago, and I was probably somewhat inebriated at the time as well.
Fair to that, yeah.
But I did see them again in Melbourne a few years ago, probably about maybe 10 years ago, maybe more. About 10 years ago, I think I saw them in Melbourne. They're good. They're a great live band, so very entertaining as well. But I found that the production on this lets it down a little bit. I found like it sounded like they had a blanket in front of the mics, and it was holding something back. It's just like it was filtered through something, awesome, and which was a shame. But other than that, it was solid. I think you got to be in the right headspace for this, though.
Yeah, you do. I agree with that.
You have to be in the right headspace because I found it a little depressing. So I don't like to say that, and I don't like to be cruel to Australian bands either.
But you got to give your honest thoughts. That's the point, right?
Yeah, I just think you have to be in the right headspace for this, and it wasn't an easy listen. But I was while revisiting, and I would encourage everybody, if we get the opportunity, to go see them live. So I would give this 7 shots.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's fair. Yeah.
No, all good.
The great thing about these guys, the good thing about these guys is that they could play with different styles of metal bands. They could play with a death metal band. They could play with a thrash band. They could play with.
I got that vibe from them.
Punk band. They could fit in with lots of different styles of rock and metal, and that's a good. They could put them anywhere on a bill, and they would still work. So
very true. Agree with that. This is a band we have touched on. touched on in the past, but never really dived into deeply, and it's well past time we did so. For clarity, there is an album version of this, which has, like the physical version, has about 7 more tracks than this one does. So it's worth noting that if you are a fan of this one, there's a physical version you can buy, which has basically the same length of songs all over again, which is why it's 28 minutes, this particular EP. But this thing, to me, packs a punch, and it's quite the wild little ride. I love the twisted little Carney-themed opening on this one, which just sort of sets the tone, because it just means that whatever comes next is going to be crazy, and it lives up to that, setting of the table nicely. That little Carney touch fades out and gives to close down the circus, which is why this whole thing, fits in at the start.
Yeah.
And from there, you just hit with this gritty, gnarly, outright mean fucking riff, which I thought was cool. This thing just snarls at you. Like the whole way through, it's a full-blown sonic assault. Right from the start, you can tell this isn't overproduced, which goes to Conrad's thing there. I think, though, it's intentional in that regard. I think it's well done. They've kept the dirt, they kept the grit, they wanted that raw intensity, they wanted to be, that whole from the underground for the underground kind of vibe, and they've lived up to that and represented.
They wanted to keep it dirty.
Yeah. I think they wanted to do it, and I think it worked. I think it actually suits what they're doing here, and to me, it felt intentional rather than a sloppy, position to take. But underneath all that, there's groove, there's swing, there's aggression. The track alone, this opening track, throws in enough twists and turns to keep you locked in. Musically, lyrically, and even in production choices, everything sort of combines to make the impact. There's a point to everything they're doing, and I think they've done well. Now, in contrast to a lot of other stuff tonight, Dream Theater, this ain't. Okay, this is not going to be anywhere close to that. This doesn't need to be. This has, as you guys have mentioned, its own style, its own identity, and it all hits just as hard while staying in whatever lane they choose to stay in from song to song. It's visceral, it's blunt, it's clever, it's subtle when it needs to be, but it all lands. And to me, this one in particular rewarded the focused listen. The more attention you give it, the more sort of rewards you and gives back to you. The track Nutgrass Fever comes along, and that's a bit more direct, a little more thrashy in the best sense. If you like riffs and rumble, you've come to the right place. There is melody here, but it's more of a highlight than the main focus, and the energy and the swing is what's more important along the way, and that all carries it nicely. Those opening tracks sort of really hit hard, and the sharp stops that are in there, the stops and starts. There's a lot of dynamics going on with this one, and the groove is undeniable. The solos deserve a mention as well here. They're really cool touches throughout. They're not like grand epic things, but they do, these lead work touches add something to these songs, which I thought was nice. And I also loved how there's this click in the overall sound, particularly in the drums. I thought it added that, again, goes back to that raw feel that, actually, to me, is a subtly clever sort of mix in its own little way. It's not high production, don't get me wrong at all. It's not going to be for everyone either. You've got to be in a particular mindset, and you've got to be able to take in what they're doing here. But for me, it was a smart approach. There are some intentional things here, like some subtle panning, some tonal shifts, some little details that sort of elevate the whole thing when you dig into the craft of it all. Reset Broom keeps momentum going. Great riffs again, some nice vocal layering, and there are some sneaky hooks in there too, which was a bit surprising. This is a good example of how this band can pull you in more than you expect, because on one listen you might brush it off, but there's more going on here than there first appears. The writing and performances are solid. They know exactly who they are, and they lean into that without boxing themselves in, which is, the whole point here tonight. There are surprises aplenty to be had here. One of those surprises is the track Shirley, the tribute to Shirley. On paper, you think about this band and the history and what we're talking about this album, an honest, earnest, heartfelt tribute might feel out of place, but they absolutely nailed it. There's warmth, there's sincerity. It hits without stopping the band's edge at all in this one. That balance is impressive, and they walk that fine line between sort of giving a damn and caring deeply, but also, between not giving a damn, but also caring deeply, and they make it feel genuine. There's Not easy to pull that fine line off, and they smoked it. Even that closing lyric, getting the right time but the wrong day, it all makes this whole thing more poignant. The hooks are strong, the lyrics hit. Each listen to this track for me made it, and the EP as a whole just pulled me in deeper. This might be the most polished moment on the record, though. So Shirley is the cleanest part. Where Shirley is the most accessible, it's arguably sorry. What the hell? What have I done? No, I don't know. Anyway, there's some interesting notes that I've taken here, and I've just fucked myself up. But anyway, Eat Pity comes along. That track gives the bass room to really rumble, which is nice. There's a sense that things sort of clean up as the EP progresses as you go through, but never at the expense of that raw energy. And you can tell, as Conrad has mentioned, this would be a hell of a lot of fun live, and I would enjoy seeing this band live. And I probably should go and look them up if they're in Queensland. This is a band, like I said, that lives and breathes the underground. They've represented it well here. There are moments here that remind me of grittier things on moments like the Crow soundtrack, like that badge or the badge from the Pantera version of that. That was one that really got my attention on that. When you start toward the end of the album, Mulberry Sky leans into sort of more melody while also pushing further into aggression. There's this great dichotomy in that song in particular. It almost growls at points, which I thought was really cool. And again, shows you they could play with death metal bands or more melodic sort of hard rock bands to punk bands. Like they could go anywhere in this spectrum and work. There's some hard panning guitar work in here, which is nice too. There's also some more studio trickery across that track there. It's got a stronger 90s vibe to that one too. I thought there was a bit sort of an alternative 90s feel in that part. So you're going all over the joint on this record, which has been touched on, but it all adds to the tension, which keeps you, interested the whole way through. From something almost radio friendly to a full-blown punch in the mouth, this EP covers a lot of ground in a very short amount of time. And if you are like me, then the more time you spend with it, the more it will reward you. If you like modern, old school, and anything and everything in between, this will have something for you. I think this is like a sleeper car of a release. It might not look like much on the surface, but under the hood, there's a lot going on. It delivers. I give this one 8 shots. Standout tracks for me were Nutgrass Fever, Shirley, and Self-Raising Flower. Some of the song titles here are quite interesting. Gives you an idea of what they're going on about. But again, at the same time, there's some lyrical work in here just I thought was fantastic. So yeah, it's an interesting one to go through, and hopefully everyone out there enjoys it when they give it a spin. What do we got here? Anna says, sounds epic. Yeah, no, it's a bit fun. What has got? Jeff is definitely in the delivery room now. I don't know what's going on there. That's from Vinny.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Katie's gone. Jeff, did you see the darkness when they were here last month? Love Justin's Del Boy impression funny as. Jeff, were you there for that?
No, I wasn't. I wanted to go, but no, I couldn't go.
Yep. Well, here we go. Vinny's got a question for another time, which we'll get to. Might be a question for another time. Songs that bring back a painful memory or experience will be a brave exercise. We'll put a pin in it. That'll be a topic for another time. But songs that bring back a painful memory or experience, that will be interesting. We'll see how we go with that one. We'll put pins. We are planning to take on feedback and see how things go there. Well, is that your phone, Jeff?
Yes, it's my phone. It's my buddy Sean. He's in Japan. He just keeps.
Okay, cool. Say hi, Sean. Watch the stream. Anyway, now we're going to change gears again. Oh, Katie's gone. Maybe next time, Jeff. Well, hopefully so. But yeah, the darkness, I'm sure, will be back, and we all know they put on a great live show. Alrighty. Next up is Conrad's pick, which makes this the global groove section of the show. This is Porcupine Tree with Deadwing. 9 tracks, 59 minutes, the 8th studio album from the British band, released March 2005 via Lava Records, produced by the band across England in various places in 2004. 2 singles were released from this in Lazarus and Shallow. These led the album pick at number 97 in the UK, number 132 in the US, with top 100 spots in France, Germany, Greece, Poland, Sweden, and more countries. Upon release, this quickly became the band's best-selling record. However, that would be overtaken in 2007 with Fear of a Blank Planet. This album is based on a screenplay and is a ghost story. The album has also got guest spots from King Crimson's Adrian Belew and Opus Michael Ackerfeld. This album also won the Best Made for Surround title at the 2005 Surround Music Awards. Conrad, like we said, put this one forward as his global groove this week. We've dabbled, but not dived too deeply. I think the only album we have covered on the show over the years is Fear of a Blank Planet. So it's time to unfuck that and dive a little bit more into this band's extensive and wonderful catalog. So Conrad, take it away.
This is mind-blowingly good. This is a great record. If you haven't gotten into Porcupine, this is a record to start with. I think if you haven't listen to Porcupine Tree, this will blow your mind. This is a lesson in songwriting, really, how to write songs. This is really well crafted. The songs are phenomenally well crafted, and there's diversity all over this record. You know, and it's just very well written, very well crafted, and the changes are seamless. Just seamless changes, and you know, there's a song on here that goes for over 8 minutes, but it sounds like 5. And they're masters at doing this. You know, there's another song on Fear of the Blank Planet. I think that goes for 17 minutes, and like 5. You know, they're really clever at doing that.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
There was a song on the. I think I don't know. I discovered these guys on Fear of a Blank Planet. I think I saw the sticker on the front of the album, which was like the producer of Opeth, and that sort of attracted me. And then I checked them out, and I can't remember how I discovered this record. I really can't remember, but I think they used their song in a car ad. I think Lazarus was used for a car ad.
Okay.
And I was like, what is that? And I was very interested. And there's a beautiful melodic line, and you know, it's not really a rock metal song, but it pulls you in nevertheless. And that's how I kind of dug deeper, and and was very, very pleasantly surprised by this. And it doesn't sound dated. This is what, 2006?
2005, I think it is. Yeah,
it sounds like
4 or 5.
It sounds like it came out, you know, today. It's that fresh.
Yeah, agree.
Exciting. For anybody who doesn't know Porcupine Tree, then this is definitely a gateway record, and the musicianship on this is phenomenal. Gavin Harrison, the drummer, is a beast, absolute beast of a drummer, and he's often in modern drummer magazines, and all the drum magazines rate this guy very highly. He plays with King Crimson. He can tour with pretty much anybody. The guy's an absolute monster. But yeah, no, just beautifully crafted songs. A standout would definitely be my favorite song on this, and probably one of my favorite songs, period, like ever. You know, I think as a rock metal fan, you're gonna love this, and that is Arriving Somewhere But Not Here. It takes you on a journey. Takes you on a journey, and it pulls you in, and it just rocks you. When it kicks in and starts, it just builds and builds and builds, and then it just goes, you know, really hard. And even for people like, you know, some of the riffs on this are as heavy as Metallica or Pantera. You know, some of the riffs are really heavy.
Yeah,
and then there's some beautiful beautiful moments where it's just pure, you know, light, beautiful melodies, you know.
Glorious expanses.
It's just, you talk about like painting with lots of different colors, like having you know, a palette with lots of different colors. This band has lots of colors, and it's beautifully crafted. So fans of if you haven't checked out Porcupine Tree before, do check them out. You might be put off by the term prog metal, but this is prog metal that's easily digestible. It's not self-indulgent. It's not self-indulgent. It's
correct.
Very and it's kept within a song, within the song. He still knows how to write and craft songs that keep you engaged and entertained without becoming self-indulgent. So that's the trick. So I don't know what more to say on that.
How many shots?
Hand that over to you guys. How many shots? Oh, this gets 11. This one goes to 11.
Get it all out.
This one goes to 11. These all go to 11.
That's true.
Oh, fuck, that's fantastic. Oh, there we go. Nice. I figured it'd go well. You put it forward, so that's the point, right? Alrighty. Cool. Well done.
One of my favorite records, period. I think.
And that's it. And that's what
in my top 10 favorite records.
That's what we converted this section to. It's like whatever you want to talk about. We rotate it and take it in turns, but it's whatever you want to talk about. It's up to you what you want to bring to it. So anyway, I figured it'd go well, and I'm pretty sure it's going to go well across the board. Spoiler alert. But Jeff, how about you?
Yeah, so look, I was a fan of, I've always been a fan of prog, obviously, you know, Rush being my favorite and Dream Theater and all that stuff. And in the 90s, someone turned me on to a band called Spock's Beard, and I got really heavily into them and went down that rabbit hole and loved their music a lot. And it was through them, I don't know if I was reading or someone else, I'm not sure how, but it got me on to Porcupine Tree, and it led me into that. And then I was, I was just immediately a fan. As Conrad said, it's very, very digestible prog. It's that's the thing about prog. A lot of people get turned off by prog because they think, oh, it's just too complicated. I can't handle it, right? somehow these guys can keep the complexity and yet they make it digestible so that it sounds just like every other band out there, but way above, really, really enjoyable stuff. So this album in particular, I prefer Deadwing over Fear of a Blank Planet. I think Fear of a Blank Planet's are really good, and I love the song Trains. Trains is one of my favorite songs. Every time I try to get someone into Porcupine Tree, I always say, and I give them Trains, check this song out. And because if you like that song, it's gonna lead you someplace. And but this album, right from the opening track, Deadwing, that there's a riff in that song. There's just something with the guitar and the drums and the bass, and it's no vocals, and it's just playing that, and it's just this droning thing, and it's doing something, and I'm just like, fuck, that is fire. It's just it is just fire, and you just want to crank it. And thankfully, it's one of those ones. Sometimes your bands will do something like that, and they only do it for, just a snippet, and they don't do it long enough, and then you don't get a chance to really. These guys let it breathe, they let it ring out, which is really good. The whole album is, once again, Lazarus. What a song! It doesn't end. I think from a production standpoint, I think this album is, in my opinion, I think it's better than Fear of a Blank Planet.
Oh, this sounds great. This sounds so fucking good.
It's just like they.
It's very rich. It's very rich.
It's very rich and luxurious.
It's so clear though. Like it's not sugar sweet over rich where you feel like if you get a really thick cake and you have a mouth, you're like, oh fuck, sugar sweats. Not that rich, but it's just glorious.
Yes, indeed. And so if you listen to those albums back to back, they both sound great. But I think Deadwing has just, I don't know what happened. Different producer. I don't know. Stephen Wilson is a fucking, he's brilliant. Very, very talented. And he knows it. He knows it. He knows it.
They play arenas in Europe. I was shocked. They play arenas in Europe. They're a big band in Europe, and so
I mean, look, they should. Great. I mean, like they're an English band. I mean, they should.
This album, I'm surprised this album wasn't a global fucking monster of a record. This should have been huge.
It was their big success until Fear of a Blank Planet, though. So it did go well.
I'm surprised it didn't take off, and maybe the timing wasn't right.
I think 2005 maybe a bit too late for the era.
Yeah, maybe just there was other stuff going on, like Limp Bizkit and shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the new metal thing had taken over by then. And this
is such a shame because this should have been. This should have made them fucking.
Well, I agree. Absolutely.
Especially in America, like American radio would have loved some of this. American.
If they'd taken a chance, but that's the problem. They don't take chances. And that's the problem, right? They stick with what they know. What they know is going to make them money as well. So. It's a shame because, as you said, this could have been what could have been. But it's also, this is, if you're going to listen to if you want to get into this band, this is a fantastic album to jump in on.
Yeah.
Because this will basically open up all the doors that you need. I think it might be their best album, in my opinion. I think it might be their best. I really like it. For me, this is I don't know. I can't quite go. I'm not going to steal Conrad's thunder and give it 11 shots, but it's getting 10.
Nice, nice, cool. Now, look, it's a no-brainer. Like, it's a great fucking album. It's been a while. Like, I think the last time I listened to anything from these guys was Fear of a Blank Planet. It was quite a few years ago, and so it's good to sort of have this one. So Conrad, I appreciate you putting this one forward because it's one of those bands I do want to explore more, and this is just like the perfect opportunity to do so. So I really do genuinely appreciate that. But right from the start, like I said a few times, this sounds fucking glorious. I know they did do like a remix or remaster process along the way for this one to, and they've made notes in the album liner about, avoiding the loudness war and that kind of stuff. And whatever they've done, whatever was in the bottle when they were doing this shit, it's fucking worked. This is clean, it's polished, it's balanced. It still keeps enough grit in the tones, though, to feel alive. And that just keeps this thing vibrant. The title track on this, Deadwing, opens things up with atmosphere before dropping into a fantastic riff. And there are plenty of those on this album. But the way the synth and the vocals sit over that, I think was beautifully handled on top of it. Everything is clear. It's deliberate. It's perfectly placed. The production matches the quality and the performances. And, that's saying something when you think about the caliber of who's involved in this project. This is progressive music, and you guys have touched on it perfectly. But I think there's no doubt about that. But this is not locked behind a barrier. This is extremely accessible. You can fall into this without needing any sort of a manual. You can just feel your way in, and that's the best kind of prog for me.
I agree.
That opening track alone has everything. It's got dynamics, light, shade, tempo shifts, subtle details like the spoken passages and those layered synth textures sitting alongside the moving riffs. Even the softer solo is perfectly, placed there. It's the kind of track that just sort of keeps revealing more the longer you sit with it. And that's the album overall too. After that comes Shallow, and I know the band themselves aren't huge on that song. Fucked if I know why, because I think it works really well on this album. It's a more direct, more stripped back kind of a song compared to the opening one, but it still carries a lot of weight. The groove and swing are strong. That's probably the main point on this one, and that riff just fucking pounds. This acts as a great entry point while still fitting the album's broader feel overall. So if you can't quite get in the first track, track 2 will be like, yep, here you go, and then you can if you struggle, you shouldn't struggle on the opening track, but just in case you do, give it to the second track, and then I think that'll suck you in. Because after that, Lazarus shifts things completely. That's your first really sort of soft moment on the album. It's a delicate track. It's stunning. The mix lets the vocals sit right up front, almost dry, with piano creating this beautiful contrast underneath of that. The way it builds, the layering, the slow crescendo in this one, it's genuinely moving. Even the subtle Foley elements, that recurring train motif that's a bit of a thing in this album, that adds another layer to this album's overall identity, and each song contributes to that as well. Halo leans into something darker, almost brushing against that late 90s, early 2000s alternative or industrial edge. Like there's a real sort of meanness and sound to that one, an edge to it. Again, this is all about dynamics, the push, the pull, the tension and release. This band knows how to use that, because that's important, because even on the short songs or the epic songs, they really know how to use that tension, push and pull kind of something to really build drama and keep you engaged as a listener. The flow across the album is worth mentioning here. Everything connects and transitions smoothly, but each track still holds its own identity, which is important too, especially for a longer listen, but it does everything has its place and time, which is fantastic. But then you hit Arriving Somewhere But Not Here, which Conrad mentioned before. The longest track on this album, but interestingly, not the most bombastic track. Instead of overwhelming you, this seduces you. It builds patiently. It feels like a journey rather than a spectacle. And then when it peaks, you get this incredible burst of riffs that completely justifies that slow build. The contrast between the lead up and the peak and then the come down is masterfully handled. Like, that was so well done. It just sneaks up on you in the best possible way. And that's what you want this to do. You want it to hit you like when you least expect it. From there, Melatonin scratch pulls things back in again. The tonal shift is immediate. It's warmer. It's softer. It's almost weightless at times, that one. The vocal harmonies and layering really shine there too. Then just when you settle into it, the final section sort of lifts things again with a more bluesy sort of feel to things. Open Car is the shortest track on the album, but it brings back that sort of darker, riff-driven edge to things. There's a bit of a Tool-like feel to that in places, I felt. Not huge, but just there's a subtle thing there to it. It's more aggressive, more direct, but it still fits very much within the band's identity that they're carving out on this album. The production choices here, especially the contrast between the dry verses and the more full choruses, is really well done. Closing things out, you start off with, the start of Something Beautiful and Glass Arm Shattering, and it's a perfect way to finish this off. Glass Arm Shattering, particularly, though, is a beautiful closing track for mine. It's soft, spacious, almost choral in its final moments. It gently brings you back down after everything that's come before. It gives you it's like landing in clouds, that song. It's delicate. It's a thoughtful finish. All in all, this album is incredibly impressive. If you've ever struggled with progressive music, ever, this is a fantastic gateway, not only to this band, but to the genre, I think, in my mind.
Yeah.
It has all the depth and detail you expect from this, but without feeling self-indulgent in the least. And it's not overly technical for the sake of it either. This thing just flows and breathes wonderfully from beginning to end. This isn't about showing off. This is all about the songs. And that makes it a journey, and then the experience as a whole is just rewarding to listen to. Everything here, the twists, the turns, the shifts, it all makes sense. It all flows. If you've never given this a proper listen, unfuck that, like today.
Yep.
It's easy to see why this album resonated so strongly with so many people for so long, and how it set the stage for what would come next. I haven't done it, but I want to now listen to this and then Fear of a Blank Planet, just like A/B them, just to see, just as a self-test, just to see what it does to me. But this album on its own is phenomenal. I'm going to give this one 9 shots. I think Dead Wing, Shallow, Arriving Somewhere But Not Here, those are the standouts for me. But there's not a dud moment here. This thing is fantastic. So please go and check it out. Loved it.
That's absolutely great. Look, 3 people, and it scored, and it didn't get a perfect score, but it still got 30 points.
Well, the aggregate's 10 each. So yeah.
Conrad doing the 11.
Yep.
And Andrew doing the 9, and me doing 10. It gets 30 points. Perfect.
3 out of 3 ain't bad, eh? So there you go. No, that was
nice
well worth it.
For those of you who have watching, who are familiar with this record, we'd lovely to hear your feedback on it too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, agree. With everything though, like this album, I was talking about it, but anything we talk about here tonight, just get in the comments and let us know your thoughts, whether you're watching live with us or later on. Love having that's what it's about. It's about community, talking, sharing. That's the old school thing. We always sit around and fucking share mixtapes and just go, how about this song and how about this album?
Oh yeah, man, to go back to those days. Fucking awesome,
it would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice.
But I'm gonna do what you suggested there. Actually, that was really good. I'm gonna A/B them. I'm gonna because I love both the albums. I like Dead Wing a little bit more. But it's gonna be interesting to put them back to back. In order like
they're different. They're a different journey. I think they're both different journeys.
They are.
But journeys.
But that's why I think it'll be an interesting test. You know what I mean? Like they're different albums for each other, but that's why I think it'll be interesting to see just how it makes you feel at the end of it. Like just what it.
I'm gonna do that this weekend. I'm going to try to set aside, 2 or 3 hours to do it.
Yeah, you're going to need a few hours for it, but it's worth it. All right, it'll be interesting. I'll try and find the time to do it myself. It'll be cool to do that. Got some comments though, as always. Now, Katie had to go. Unfortunately, she goes, "Sorry, guys, got to go make dinner now. Late dinner. Wow, it's nearly fucking 10 o'clock for you. It was when you did this. I watch you guys at 10 on Channel 44. Rock on. Good to have your company with us. I know you're not seeing this right now, but I'm glad you were here." And she said her battery's running low as well. So there you go. Guru's here. You're a bit late to the party, but it's good to see you, man. Greetings, rockers across the plane. Hopefully you're keeping well out there. Good to see you. Doesn't matter when you get here, so long as you get here, and you can always catch up later on because these videos don't go anywhere. That's the fun part. Alrighty, got a couple of quick bits to go through now. So, Conrad, you weren't here last week. How familiar are you with Carnival's album Themata?
I think I know that's the one that had the big breakthrough single off it. Was it?
It's their first album.
It's the debut album, the first album.
I think there's a song off that got played in rock clubs that I heard in Australia. I think I don't know the name of it, but I did like it though. I remember going, "Oh, I like this. What's this song?" And then someone said, "This is Carnival," and I think that was it. From what I remember.
That's cool.
So I don't know the record.
That's fine. But, it was just a curiosity. You want to play catch up, or was going to sort of just.
But I did listen to this album. Is this the one? Or
we're doing Sound. Yeah, Sound Awake is the next part of the show. So we'll get to that in a second.
Is this the record you're talking about? Is this the record you're talking about that or was there one prior to this?
There's one prior to this. So it's just that's why it's like, okay, if we get a chance.
There was a single. I think there was a single that they had. When you say a single, it was still quite a long song. But,
it's Carnival.
Exactly. No. But no, I listened to this record, but I'm not familiar with one before it. No.
All right, cool. That's all right. Well, we'll dive into this one.
Maybe a song off it. As I said, maybe like there was a single off it that I
give it a skim, and then we'll see if there's a track that gets your attention for the next hour round. But anyway, as we do these shows, we go through and we're going through Carnival's discography. This is the premise to something else coming up down the line. But this is a bit of fun here where we had this idea called, Mixtape Madness, where we go through and we're not playing the same rules as last year where just because someone takes a song, someone else can't take the song. All three of us could take the exact same song. It wouldn't matter. It's just to sort of see what happens and see which song resonated with us off of an album. And then we'll compare it against the audience choices and then get everyone involved in having some fun toward the end of it all. So it's a bit of a process here to play out. But the long story short version here is that, or the TLDR, is that we go through an album, not going to give a whole lot of notes on it, just, a brief thought on the album and then pick our favorite song off of it, and we'll sort of add it to the list, and we'll revisit the whole thing as we go through.
So, Conrad, quickly go to the first album and now the second album, and then just pick a song, and then grab a song, whatever, and then grab a song off the second album, put them aside because we're going to need them.
Yeah, he did listen to this album, so that's all right. Yeah. So today we're doing Carnival's album Sound Awake. Over the next few sessions, we'll do the other two albums as well.
Yeah.
This is the band's second album, was released back in June 2009. That year, though, it was nominated for Album of the Year at the J Awards, and in 2010, it actually won the most popular album at the West Australian Music Awards, which is fitting because that's their home turf. It's been certified gold here in Australia. It peaked at number 2 here as well, so it's done quite well. This is safe to say probably their breakthrough moment for these guys, and from there, things just sort of didn't fade away. But anyway, the objective here is to just give a quick little bubble thought on the album and then pick a song. And Jeff, let's throw it to you. Which way did you land on this one? What did you think? And
yeah, look, I actually preferred this over the first album. Like as I said before, the first album didn't resonate with me. It didn't mind it. I think it was like terrible, but it didn't resonate with me as much as I would have liked. Everyone was raving about the band, and so I did. I gave them a chance, and I'm going to keep listening, go through them. Yep. But I like the sound of this album. I think it sounds better. I think it's sonically it's better. It's smoother. So there's something smoother. Yeah. So it's like, it's like Rot Gut versus, Top Shelf. It's not quite there, but it's somewhere in there.
It's fucking Bullet Bourbon versus Jim Beam.
Yes, exactly right. That's a good way of putting it. It's not Top Shelf yet, but it's getting there. It's certainly an improvement.
Yeah.
So I like the album. I thought it was, like I said, it's better to me than the first album, but that's just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. If I had to pick one song, which I have, do you want my song?
Yes, please.
It's Set Fire to the Hive.
Yeah. I get that one. I do know that one. It's one of my favorites on the album as well, to be honest. So yeah, no, it's a fucking ripping track, that one. Cool. That's the premise, Conrad. Over to you.
Just pick a song you like.
Yep.
I think it was New Day.
New Day,
yeah.
Cool.
From what I remember standing out. Mind you, I haven't listened to the deep dive. Like I've listened to the record through the once, so I need to digest it obviously a bit more.
Yeah.
So far, this isn't New Day. So far, New Day is the one. The guy very slightly sounds like Daniel Johns in parts.
I understand what you mean with that. Yeah, I get it.
Very slightly sounds like Daniel Johns. Maybe it's an Australian accent thing.
I think it was that time, that era of Australian music.
But there's Tool-esque. There's Tool-esque moments in parts as well. I think and young and old could appreciate this record. I probably think young and old.
Agree. Hard agree. Yep. Yeah. No, the objective isn't to deep dive on this, just to listen to it and pick a song that you liked, and we sort of have some fun from there. It's just not meant to be a lot of homework on this one. It's just meant to be a bit of fun to play with at the end. This is the album. I remember, like I said before, in the lead up to this, I've done the discography up until the new album earlier this year, which we reviewed. But the previous albums we'd done in a special episode years ago. And this album was the one that sort of stayed with me. The song Set Fire to the Hive is probably my favorite song from this band until recently. That's just one that stayed with me. That this album has stayed with me. It's one of those ones that's been memorable for best part of a decade since I discovered it, kind of thing. I love it to bits. This is with the idea of what we're going to move to at the end of this sort of process is leading some interesting sort of thought processes for me as we go along. This, compared to the debut album, this is the natural next step for this band, though. It is a step up. It's more refined and more directed than the previous album was. The other album had a lot more, I guess, diversity, a lack of identity, whereas not lack, but more wide identity. This one sort of has locked in on who and what they are, and it feels like it's okay, cool. We've hit that power band. We're moving forward now, and they've just sort of hit their stride on this one more fully. It's not as crazy as the debut per se, but there's a lot more progressive and technical, but more interesting too. I think the performances are right in the mix. All of it is fantastic. It's A1. This band just don't have a bad product at all. But this, the thing that I liked about the debut album most was that moody quality, and they haven't lost that to move forward either. They've kept that part of their identity and incorporated it a bit differently. That said, this one also has more sort of beauty in it as well, so it's a lot more mature in different ways. Like I said, this album has got a lot of favorites, Set Fire to the Hive being one of them. But it's funny because I almost chose that one too, Jeff. And New Day, Conrad, your choice is on my short list as well. The other one on my short list is Change Part 2, but the song I'm actually going to pick is All I Know. that one just hits different a few years later on for me. So that's my favorite song on this album as we sit here today. And I'm looking forward to seeing where the rest of this sort of takes us over the next couple of sessions. It'll be a bit of fun. So there you have it, folks. That's our 3 picks from this time around. We've gotten different tracks again. So far it's been interesting. Even though we haven't got any rules about it, we're all picking different tracks, which is a cool little showcase of our tastes. There's no rules, we're just still doing different things anyway. So it's gonna be very cool, different playlists at the end. Hard Music guys have joined us also, saying g'day all. Good to see you again too. And Jolie said goodbye to Cat too, even though she had already gone. But that is all we had to cover off tonight. We've done well here. We've done nicely. We're going to move along and raise a glass toward the end of things and move on and get set for the next go around. This has been fun, and it's been good to get all 3 of us in the room for the whole show, which is great. So good to have us with us. We have you with us, Conrad. When I get my English out right,
it's good to have you.
Always good to have you. Same with you, Jeff. Of course, love both you guys. Love the company. It's a lot of fun here, and
thank you.
Looking forward to much more to come. But before we get out of here, time to raise a glass. Time to do a bit of a celebrating thing. So, what are you raising a glass to this week, Jeff? Let's go to you first. What are you gonna?
Well, I'm gonna raise a glass to myself because I'm not that self-indulgent, but so this week work-wise, that I went through some real nasty shit at work, and and it wasn't fun, and so I honestly didn't know I was gonna get through the other side of it with my job in hand. Just the way things were going. But I'm happy to say that we're all now on the same page, and I'm very, very happy with that things turned out for the better. And I love my job, and I want to keep it. And the company I work for, I love them. They're great. So I'm very happy that things have worked out. So, yeah, I'm going to cheers to that.
Yeah. Exactly. Raise a glass indeed, man. Well done. Nicely put. I'm glad it worked out for you. That's the main thing there. All right. Conrad, your turn.
Pepsi Max as well.
One day, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how we go with you two.
That's it, man. I think we're sponsoring the show, man.
Yeah. Pepsi Max are not sponsoring, but yeah.
No, they're not. No.
They're not. They're not.
Product placement, but now they
hey, if it's good, it's good, right?
Yeah, well, people are liking it. What are you raising a glass to, Conrad?
I don't want to bring the tone down by any means and depress anybody by any means, but if we're going to raise a glass, I say in memory of Phil Campbell from Motorhead.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Phil Campbell, Motorhead.
Agree.
It's a respect and memory to Phil Campbell and Motorhead. So that's
he was great.
Yeah. He was a legend.
I don't want to depress everybody.
No.
Remember him.
Yeah. The sad part about that is that now I think only Mickey D's left. That's it. He's the only guy left. And hopefully he's not going anywhere anytime soon, because fucking hell.
Yeah.
All my favorite bands are all.
I know. We're at that age now.
The rock stars are all.
Yeah. That's what happens as you get older.
We're at that age, and it's shocking.
Yeah.
It's like, you get up in the morning, you think, okay, who's going today, right?
Yeah. Well, that happens in your day-to-day life too. So
there's actually a meme about that. God. You'll see a meme. There's a meme about that, and it's Keith Richards with a paper.
Yes.
Richards with a paper going, "Who have I outlived this week?"
And you know what? It's funny because it's true. Like that's the thing about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I can remember my dad. When I was younger, I can remember my dad. He would read the newspaper every single day, right? He got the newspaper delivered, and the first thing he would do he would go to the obituaries and go and do that. I'm like, I know, and he'd be like, oh fuck this person, blah blah blah. I knew, I grew up with them. I'm like, and every day, I'm like, Jesus Christ, Dad, can you be any more depressing? And and he's like, you'll understand one day. I get it now. I get it. I'm at that age. Yeah.
I'm going to lighten the mood here. I'm going to raise a glass.
Sorry.
I'm No, it's all good. It's all fun. I'm gonna raise a glass. Actually, being home and settled for the first time in a month, which is nice.
And the show coming back and the stream back.
Yeah, I'm able to actually get some shit done, which is nice because the last few months have been fucking hectic. But we're getting there now, so starting to settle in, and I'm not having to travel as much quite for work, which is cool. I missed one here before. Nico666 here saying hello. Good to see you as well. But I think that's about it, folks. So thank you one and all for jumping in. Thank you to you guys for having some fun with us here tonight. And make sure you do all the usual stuff, like, follow, subscribe, all the usual crap. Hot Rocks and Tastemakers playlists will rotate over the weekend. Current listening will roll over tonight. Check out our TV broadcast as well. Thursday nights, 10 or 10:30 p.m. on Channel 44 in Adelaide, and Saturday nights, 10:30 p.m. on Channel 31 in Melbourne. So check those things out as well. And but otherwise, we'll see you on Sunday night for our next live stream then. Until then, we got Conrad here. We got Jeff. Thank you both for jumping in. I'm Andrew, and you all know what to do, folks. Until next time, drink up, rock on.
Cheers.
Cheerio.